everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we will see the development of the diaphragm. This is an important topic and an interesting topic also. Those who are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now so that you will receive the everyday updates. If you see the diaphragm, it's the mammalian feature. It's only present in the mammals and it's derived from the innermost muscle of the body wall. That's why this diaphragm takes origin from the costal origins interdigitating with the transversus abdominis muscles. So that's the introduction to the development of the diaphragm. Now we will see the development of the diaphragm in detail. If you see this diagram, so this is the body wall. This is the body wall. Coelomic cavities are developing. So this is the pericardial opening, pericardial cavity, pleural cavity, and this is the peritoneal cavity. So these coelomic cavities develop from the intraembryonic coelom that we have learnt in the development of the coelomic cavities class. So these are all already the coelomic cavities are developing from the intraembryonic coelom. So when this intraembryonic coelom is giving rise to all these cavities, there is a communication between these cavities. So this will be called as the pleuropericardial opening. And this communication between the pleural cavity and peritoneal cavity will be the pleuroperitoneal opening. So in the beginning there are communications between these coelomic cavities and the partitions of the coelomic cavities. Now how this diaphragm develops? So this diaphragm develops from the septum transversum. So this is the septum transversum which develops from the body wall. So this is developing from the body wall up to the esophageal segment of the foregut. So this is the esophageal segment of the foregut. So this is how. So this is the esophageal segment of the foregut. So up to that it is extending, and the dorsal margin of this septum transversum is free. So this is the dorsal margin of the septum transversum. This septum transversum is developing in the cervical region in the beginning. So then it migrates caudally. First it develops in the cervical region. Then it migrates caudally due to the development of the lungs and the heart. So it reaches the lower position. But when it is present in the cervical regions, it is taking its myotomes from the cervical region, carrying the nerves of life. That's how this diaphragm is innervated by the phrenic nerve, which is formed by the C2, C3 and C4. So that's how the septum transversum is giving rise to the main part of the development of the diaphragm. So if you see in this diagram, this is the diaphragm of the adult. So diaphragm of the adult, you should know what are the parts of the diaphragm of the adult. There are three openings in the diaphragm. So this is the inferior vena cava opening, and this is the esophageal opening, this is inferior vena cava opening, and this is the aortic opening. So it has a central tendon in the center, which is the insertion of the diaphragm. So if you see this development of the diaphragm from the septum transversum, this anteromedian part of the diaphragm. So this is this green color which I have given in this diagram, same green color in this diagram, that is contributed by the septum transversum. So that is the anteromedian part of the diaphragm, including the central tendon and the inferior vena cava opening, is developing from the septum transversum. Then if you see this pleuroperitoneal opening, it is closed in the later stage by the pleuroperitoneal membrane. So we will give it the blue color, pleuroperitoneal membrane. So when the pleuroperitoneal membrane forms only, this pleural cavity and peritoneal cavity is separated. So if you come to this diagram, this is the pleuroperitoneal opening. So this is the pleuroperitoneal opening. It is it is present on either side of the esophagus. So when this pleuroperitoneal opening is closed by the pleuroperitoneal membrane, so that is the another contribution for the development of the diaphragm. So this part is formed by the pleuroperitoneal membrane. Then if you see, this is the esophagus in this diagram. So this is the esophagus in this diagram. So the septum transversum extends up to the esophagus, which is having its dorsal mesentery. So this red color is the dorsal mesentery. So if you see in this diagram, between the esophageal openings and the aortic openings, this part is contributed by the dorsal mesentery of the esophagus. Then the remaining part, if you see the peripheral part, it is the shelf-like projection from the body wall. So if you see this development of the diaphragm, it is a composite mesodermal derivative, and it is derived from 4 elements. One is the septum transversum, and 2 is this pleuroperitoneal membrane, and 3 is this dorsal mesentery of the esophagus, and 4th is this shelf-like projection from the dorsal body wall. So these are the 4 contributions for the development of the diaphragm. So what will be the congenital abnormalities of the diaphragm? If this pleuroperitoneal membrane is not formed, even if you see in the development of the pleuroperitoneal membrane, this right side is fusing first, then the left side. So if it is not fusing, what will happen to this? What is the congenital abnormality of the development of the diaphragm is the Bochdalek's hernia. Bochdalek's hernia. So because of this defective formation of the pleuroperitoneal membrane, and this membrane may not be formed on both sides or sometimes on one side. Usually the left side defect is common. So that what will happen? So you just think this pleural cavity and peritoneal cavity is communicating with each other. So what will be happening? The abdominal organs may enter the pleural cavity. So that is forming the herniation into the thorax. Abdominal organs may herniate into the thorax. So that's the Bochdalek's hernia. So that is how this pleuroperitoneal membrane formation is very much important. When we started in the beginning, we told it is a composite mesodermal it's a composite part derived from the inner body wall, we have told. So that helps in the negative pressure in the thorax. So that helps in many ways for the pulmonary circulation or for the air entering the alveoli of the lungs. So that is the importance of the development of the diaphragm in the mammals. So other congenital abnormalities, if you see, you should have learnt in the gross anatomy of the diaphragm, foramen of Morgagni, that may be between the opening between the sternal and the costal origins. So these two are the defective formation of the development of the diaphragm. So we will summarize the development of the diaphragm. Diaphragm is a composite mesodermal derivative derived from 4 elements: septum transversum, pleuroperitoneal membrane, dorsal mesentery of the esophagus, and from this shelf-like projection from the body wall. So that is the development of the diaphragm. So we will see in the next class of the development of coelomic cavities in the next class. Those who are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now so that you will receive the everyday updates.